What's the biggest challenge that Daniel Jones presents as a quarterback for them? What's sort of special about what he does?
You could tell he's a NFL prospect. He likes to read through his progressions. He's not a younger college quarterback who just stares a guy down and throws to it. So he'll look throughout the field to try to find an open guy and make a big play. But at the same time, that'll give the defense time to try to get after him because he's not going to, like I said, stare down a receiver and just get it out quick sometimes. He'll really go through his progressions.
I guess even if you do have that time to get after him, once you get there, he's kind of tough to bring down. Huh? He's a big guy. I don't know if you had any chances on him last year, but
Yeah, no, I didn't get back there as much as I wanted to last year, but he definitely is big, bigger than a lot of quarterbacks you see nowadays. They're sometimes smaller and can run a little bit, but the thing with him, he can run too. He's not going to just sit there if we leave it too big of an open in a gap. He'll take off, but he's a big guy, so you got to make sure to wrap him up and take him to the ground.
Against Notre Dame, you guys probably had just across the line your best day of pressuring the quarterback. I mean, it seemed like whether it was you or Jones or somebody was always back there. Do you see, that improvement you guys are making from early in the year to now, and that, that can become the norm these last 5 games?
Definitely. With that, we were back there the whole day, but we went back and watched, and there's so many opportunities we missed where it could have been sacks or close. We made one mistake, so it can just continue to get better. And it is an improvement. We've seen it. We really focused on that week because that guy can run. And we just need to do that throughout the year and finish those other opportunities we had because it could have been 4 times better against Notre Dame, and maybe we could have changed it just ourselves what happened against Notre Dame on the defensive line.
Will it be difficult to carry that over into this game?
I don't think so. I think, you always want to carry it over. So the bye week, I think it'll help us. Guys get back, recover, and then come back, have 2 weeks to game plan and get your body healthy. I think we should come out maybe even better. And like I said, prepare to go against this quarterback who's a high prospect and make another statement. And that's always the goal, to do it back-to-back weeks. Sometimes we have a really good week and then the next week we don't. So I think if we can come back and do it better, we don't want to be the same, so better and continue to do that, I think people will notice that's where we're going to try to finish out the rest of the year.
obviously you're worried about your job on the D-line, but did watching film and stuff, did the defense look much different, first game without having Q there, middle linebacker?
We really made the game plan fit around, and I think Elias did a great job. He was, like I said in the post-game interview, he was so relaxed, and you wouldn't even tell that was his first start especially against a ranked team like that was ranked up there. He was relaxed, making great checks. He was in the playbook and in film all week, and he came out prepared. Honestly, you didn't notice a difference with the calls, maybe different type of play style, but Elias, he can move around, he makes big hits, and he was out there doing what he's supposed to do, and I think it showed. I think we played a pretty good game, always can be better, but I think he was out there moving around, making plays and making great checks and calls for us, so I think it was just fine, honestly.
You seemed really frustrated after the game and the immediate aftermath, despite how well you had played. You talked about the plays you had left on the field, wishing you had done more. So over the bye week and stuff, and then watching film from the game, is your mood still the same on that, or how are you still looking at that?
Definitely, because I know, I had some great plays, but there were some plays where if I would have did more and I had the opportunity to, I could have impacted the game a lot different with losing contain on a couple plays or not using certain pass rush moves that work better for me than the ones I was using, because different players have different pass rush moves that work for them. So I just look back and I was looking at film just why did I do that? When I could have did some things way simpler and made plays that would have changed the whole game around. So, like I said after the game, I did some things good, but there was so much more where if I would have just did one play better, it could have changed the outcome of the game, and it's always going to be like that. I think that's what it takes to continue to grow. I can't just sit back and be like, I did a few good things, and then on those bad plays, it's whatever that happens. Just try to eliminate as many of those as I can, and continue to try to be perfect until I get there.
And you talked about how it's always a goal for you guys to hold a team under 20 points, and you were the only team to do that against the number 3 team in the country this year so far. So how are you able to, even though you didn't get the win as a team, to move on from that with the 5 ACC games remaining and try to keep doing that?
Hold them under 0 points. Not under, but at 0 points. If defense doesn't let them score, you probably have a 90+% chance of winning. So. And then if you hold them to not scoring, you'll probably end up getting a defensive score too, because that means you're dominating them. So obviously the main goal is always to hold them under 20, because nowadays in college football, just with RPOs and passing and really great athletes, they score and games go fast. But so if we can hold them under 20, that's always the main goal. But 0 points is great. We always want donuts on the board. Sometimes we've done it in the first half and not the second half, where they've scored a lot in the first half and then shut them out the second half. So we need to just put that all together. And I think You know, that one touchdown at the end of the game. If it was under 20 points, but we don't let them score that, we still win, even with the struggles we were having throughout the other parts of the game.
As was mentioned, 5 conference games left. You guys are 2-1. Can you give us an idea, just mindset, what the talk is in the room?
Definitely. I think with older guys, we know that, and I consider, I guess, myself being an older guy, even though it's my second year playing with the defense, and I think we know there's 5 games, and I think with some guys that are just getting into still playing just a little bit and not a lot every game, you got to really let them know that even though we've lost 4 games, we're 2-1 in the conference, and this whole season can end where we want it to end, with going to an ACC championship and going to a bowl game after that, and you know, everyone being happier than where they're at right now, from the fans to us to the coaches to everyone that's part of this program. And I think you just got to constantly remind people, even though we lost against Notre Dame and lost those other games, that we're still in a place to end happy and go where we want to go, even though we've had some rough weeks.
Yeah, you mentioned RPOs that you know, Duke runs. It seems like pretty much every team on your schedule, except maybe Georgia Tech, you know, has those same sort of principles in there. You guys on the line, I mean, as you see that week after week, does it get easier as the year goes on, just keeping your keys and, you know, following plays with your eyes? And, I mean, does it get easier as the year goes on?
I mean, it's always the same technique, but it's not easier because different teams have different parts of the RPO that work better for them. Some teams, the quarterback's the main runner, and he'll really ride the mesh and pull it, and that's the threat. Other teams, the running back's the main player of the RPO, or they have a big receiver out there who's always running those slants and they're just throwing it in there. So, I mean, it's always the same basic parts of it, but they have little different things where the tight end lines up and is motioning to mess with DN's eyes, or linebackers, just little things that you have to change each week depending on what team you're playing, but it's always the same concept. So if you really focus on the keys, you can do your best to shut it down.
Anything final for Rashad?
Thanks, Rashad.
Thanks, Rashad.
Thank you.